Hi, I'm Jeff Murrah. I want to welcome you to True Texas History, and today we are continuing the series on the filibusters of Texas. The one we're going to be talking about today is John Sibley. Although he's not typically seen as a filibuster, he's definitely part of the filibuster action going on. He was born in 1757 in Massachusetts and apparently served in the American Revolution. Served as an assistant to a surgeon. And through a series of events, he found himself down in Natchitoches, Louisiana in 1802. Natchitoches became one of those hopping off points for a lot of people that were interested in filibustering in Texas. And it was also a hopping off point for John Sibley, who went ahead and the year after he moved to Natchitoches, went ahead and decided to go up the Red River and find out more about the Indians that lived in the area, and also find out about Spanish Texas, because remember, it was a huge mystery that people didn't know much about, and they wanted maps on and wanted to know what was there. Well, apparently he did his homework, and he was a pretty bright guy. He, but in doing so, made himself an authority on the Indians in the area and on Spanish Texas in general. In fact, I don't know whether it was an act of arrogance or he really was an expert. He began writing President Jefferson in 1804 concerning his findings and what he discovered. And it just so happens that the president appointed him a surgeon to the U.S. troops down there as well. How convenient, right? Now, it's Sibley who, because of his communication network and his good relationships with the Indians, that gave the report on Aaron Burr when Aaron Burr was making his filibuster expedition down to Texas. In other words, he ratted him out. He was also one part of the Eyes and Ears network for none other than James Wilkinson. To give you an idea of the influence of John Sibley, he was able to keep the Indians on peaceful relations with the United States, all the way from the Red River down to Matagorda Bay. So almost as far as Corpus Christi. I mean, that's pretty far into Texas from Louisiana. And by maintaining those relations, he was a key person. If you were going to do any kind of expedition into Texas, you would want information from John Sibley as well as his influence. Now, although he did not participate in filibuster expeditions initially, he did finally participate in the Long expedition in 1819. I'm going to cover Long later, but I'm trying to cover these people in a somewhat chronological order. And at this point, John Sibley wasn't filibustering. Eventually he would be. But he was a key player in terms of providing information. One of the ones I'm going to be talking about, for instance, is Anthony Glass. And Anthony Glass relied heavily on John Sibley to know what to expect and what was going on. In fact, the journal of Glass's expedition was edited by Sibley. So Sibley influenced not only what happened on the expedition, but also what got reported. So we'll talk more about Anthony Glass in an upcoming episode, but I wanted to at least let you know about John Sibley and his role with the filibusters of Texas. So until next time, this is Jeff Murrah wishing you via con Dios, my friends. Goodbye.